In this video, I'll explain why numbered lists are very important. First of all, let's take another look at our content where we used manual numbering. In the case of manual numbering, all numbers have to be entered by the person creating the help file. In our case, the format of the numbering was to place the number first, followed by the period. And to maintain perfect alignment of the steps, one had to provide 2 spaces after the period in the case of a single digit and a single space after the period for double digits. Here, the possibility of human error while entering the steps is high. Numbers could be repeated and numbers could be entirely out of sequence. And here's a scenario where managing the numbers manually becomes a painful exercise. Let's say a section comprises about a dozen instruction steps, and later, for some reason, the third step had to be removed. Now, deleting just the third line means all the steps from 4 to 12 have to be manually renumbered. The same goes for inserting a new step too. Every subsequent step after the newly inserted step has to be renumbered again. How painful can this be? The simple solution: use numbered lists instead. With a numbered list, even empty lines can be created in between steps and the numbering will still be in order. Let me demonstrate. Let us use the how to sign in topic and use a numbered list where we had manually inserted the numbers for the instruction steps earlier. To start with, I have cleared all the numbers of the instruction steps of the section 2 sign in. So in the case of our text, for the 2 sign in section, I'm selecting the lines of text that needs to be numbered, and from the ribbon, I click the numbering style button. By default, the numbering style is a number followed by the period and 2 spaces for single digit and a single space after the period for double digits. You can even customize a new style. For now, let us go with the default style. As you can see, the steps have all been numbered. The blank lines in between the steps have also been numbered. All we need to do now is to go to each blank line and delete the number. Notice how as we do this, the numbers of the lines automatically renumbered themselves without any of our intervention. The same goes even if I were to delete a line or insert a line. In this example, I had used lines that were already written. Let me demonstrate auto numbering this time by writing lines from scratch for the 2 sign out section. I type the first line and then I click the numbering style button and make it a numbered line. Now I position my mouse cursor at the end of the first line by clicking at the end of the line. I now press enter on my keyboard. Help and Manual inserts a new line and automatically numbers the subsequent step as number 2 and prompts me to type the second instruction line. Notice how the line automatically starts with a left indentation. All I need to do is to go ahead and type the second line. However, I need to insert a blank line between these 2 instruction steps. So I position my mouse cursor once again at the end of step 1 and press enter on my keyboard. A blank line is inserted, but it has been numbered as number 2 and our second instruction step has been numbered step 3. So what do we do here? Exactly as we did earlier, position the cursor beside the period of step number 2 and delete the number. Notice how the lines are renumbered automatically and correctly. To add the third step, we repeat what we just did with step 2. Position the mouse cursor at the end of step 2 and press enter. Step 3 is automatically created. Type in the line for step 3. Now position the mouse cursor at the end of step 2 and press enter. A blank line is created below step 2 and it is numbered as number 3 and the step 3 becomes step 4. Simply delete the number 3 of the blank line and auto numbering corrects the steps to read in order. One more thing, even if you proceed to steps with double digit numbers, the left alignment of the steps is perfectly maintained. Therefore, I highly recommend numbered lists to number your instruction steps. Now you have sufficient knowledge to make your content look presentable. There are other formatting techniques and I'll discuss them as we move on to other sections. Now before you take up your next assignment, which is creating a numbered list, here's a peek into what we'll be learning next. Take a look at the content we have been working on so far. Doesn't it look more compelling with images? We'll learn how to capture and insert images into our help content in the next section.